curiosity. I love smoking weed and watching documentaries and like asking myself like, what was the first human like? And then literally I was like, what was the first surgery like? Or like how did we learn like? Because I learned a bunch of facts over my life. And then, like, one day, like, literally, like, this is, like, 5 years ago. I was like, damn, I really want to watch a documentary about surgery, but not, like, surgery. I want to find out about the history. I was like, what were the first surgeries that, like, cavemen were doing with, like, rocks and shit, Like, because they used to do that, like, trepanation, where they would drill a hole in the head to release the pressure from, like, brain injuries and shit. That fascinated me, which maybe that's in this book. Probably is, but I haven't gotten to that chapter. But anyways, so I was like, I wanted to watch a documentary first, because that's easier than reading. But then I couldn't find any good documentaries on it. And then I found this book. And it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I was hoping for something like twice as thick. And maybe like I don't know, not as like pop med. Saw someone describe this as like pop medicine, where it's like 28 surgeries of history. Like, but no, this was legitimately the closest thing I could find. And it goes from like medieval Civil War to even I think the most modern thing in this was the JFK assassination. But yeah, like literally the JFK assassination is in this, and then it also goes all the way back to like, I actually don't know what the oldest thing in this is, but it's pretty old. Like back when they still believed in like humors and shit. So, also, when I started talking about this on stream, I also did get drunk and buy another book. Aside from Interview with the Vampire and, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because I also was talking about this one, and then that one didn't arrive until 2 days ago. So last Monday, the book I actually wanted to read hadn't arrived. Fuck, I don't have a bookmark. Okay. So then when Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy arrived, another package arrived. And I forgot that I ordered it. But it was last Monday. I also like Googled this to see what people said about it, which is basically what I expected. I also might have ordered something else I found. Because someone was like, if you like this, you should check out this. Which, this is more what I expected. This is more what I thought this one would, like, or what I wanted from this. But I got this, like, 5 years ago. So, but then, when I was Googling it, because I was reading it, or I'm gonna read it, and I just wanted to see what people had to say about it. Found someone who's like, if you like this, should check out this. And it's literally The Emperor of All Maladies, a biography of cancer. Which is huge. It's absolutely insane. But I assume it goes through all of human history, which is what I actually wanted. Forgot what I was talking about. I hope you all are paying attention. But it's cool. I'm excited to read this too. Oh, and thank you guys, because I have been trying to read this front to back now. And then I'll make sure I read you the best chapter. But yeah. I'm actually really intrigued by this as well. But it's way bigger than I expected. I guess I don't know how big I expected it to be, but damn. I got a lot to read about. Anyways, so yeah, I was just interested in, like, history. Especially, like, surgical history, it's like, who was the first, like, it must have been scary to, like, have to try to save people's lives before modern medicine. Which is basically where we're gonna be soon when the internet goes out and we're plunged back into the dark ages. And it's just gonna be you at home with a knife and your best friend. God help us. Rub some dirt in it. Walk it off, rub some dirt in it, you know, good old advice. Alright, hold on. It's a lot for one little girl to contend with. You know what? When shit hits the fan, I bet you'd feel a lot more comfortable if I was with you. I do want to pride myself on that, where I'm like, okay, honestly, like, sometimes if you're fucked, but, like, at least I could probably help a little bit. If I'm at a protest, I'll have water. And I won't be drunk. I only drink at night. Like a vampire. Oh no, I think I need CPR. Help, help. And I'll be like, ooh, I've always wanted to try this. I need practice. But I do think if I had to do CPR and I'm not trained at all and I would like probably would just kill you anyways, or I mean you'd probably die anyways, but I do think I would give it a better effort than like a lot of people. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than like most people. I just mean like out of like a room full of people who like would scream or run away, I probably would try. Not saying I'd succeed, but I think I'd give it like a college try, you know? And I wouldn't be all limped wrist about it. What song would you pick to time the compressions? Absolutely Staying Alive by the Bee Gees for 30 counts. And then I always think of that scene from The Office where he starts singing like the whole song. Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk. Do you stay cool under panic? Mostly. There is a weird moment. I've been in a couple situations, and I might get into it, I might not. Because I know these topics are, like, sad and disturbing, especially for, like, normal people. But I will say, in the few panic-worthy moments I've been in, there's a moment in the moment where everybody freezes. And that's, like, the make or break moment. That's the moment where you either start screaming or you start acting. And I just wanted to share that with you because some people have never experienced it. And some people won't have it yet. But one day you will be in that moment, and just remember that's normal. There's that moment where you freeze. But you need to remember, like, every second counts. And there might be one thing you can do, even if that thing is get out of the way. Because that's the other thing. Everybody wants to be a hero. And the last thing you want is to be in a room full of heroes. Like... But also the last thing you want is to be in a room full of people just standing there or screaming. One, two, three. Thank you, pumpkin cakes. So there's always something you can do. I don't know. I've just been really fascinated by that kind of stuff, like how to help in an emergency. Even I used to mostly just worry about like choking on something or if there was like an accident, and then I was like, okay, you got to have somebody who's giving clear directions, like everybody back up, or you call 911. Like they say you should point to someone if you are acting. Maybe you're the only one in the room who knows CPR and you have to do that. But you also have to have somebody go like, you call 911. You grab the towels. You need to do something, or you need to back up. Like, you have to, I don't know. It was interesting. And go learn something, even if it's on YouTube. I'll be right back for civil disobedience, which is just going to be a lot of words. And I'm going to have to try to read kind of fast because I'm hoping to maybe get through 20 pages, but we'll be lucky if I get through like the same 6 that I read last week. Yeah, be specific and clear. I'm going to end it there. I'm going to end it there because I think I've said exactly what people need to know. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess another thing I want to say is if you see something that you know should be done, without a doubt, you know should be done, do that. But if you don't know what should be done, get the fuck out of the way. Like, I don't know. And what else? Stopping bleeding in an emergency situation is the number one thing. Don't just start doing CPR on someone with a gunshot wound, because you know what can happen? You can just push more blood out. You need to stop the bleeding first, and then do the ABCs. I think. Anyways, not a lawyer, not a doctor, but, you know, if shit hit the fan, maybe it'll matter. And if you're having to perform life-saving actions on somebody, the last thing you want to do is make it worse, but also the last thing you want to do is not help. And I think if everybody just knew those few things, that mitigates the harm as well. Because there's so many people who don't know what they're doing, and they either start acting without thinking and they fuck it up and they make it worse, or they're so scared of making it worse that they don't do anything. And it's actually that second part that I'm more concerned about. I'm more concerned about somebody like dying in a crowd full of people who could help or who could do something in that moment, which is like really scary. And I'm not even speaking from recent experience. I'm just like, that's something I used to think about a lot. And that I think, or when I see some horrible video or of like something where I'm like, somebody could have done something, you know, I'm sure we've all seen something like that where you're like, oh, why did they do this and not that? And then people in the comments online are like, well, it's because they clearly don't know this. And then it's like, so I wish everybody was trained in first aid. God damn it. I at least did get a first aid class like a couple times in my childhood. And I still remember some of those things, even though I've never had to use them. And I wish, and then, so sometimes you see people react in a situation, and you're like, oh, you've never had a first aid class, have you? To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best. Indeed. And remember that. And now, without further ado, and for no reason, civil disobedience. I heartily accept the motto, that government is best which governs least. And I should like to see it acted up to more rapidly and systematically. Carried out, it finally amounts to this, which I also believe, that government is best which governs not at all. And when men are prepared for it, that will be the kind of government which they will have. Government is at best but an expedient. But most governments are usually, and all governments are sometimes, inexpedient. The objections which have been brought against a standing army, and there are many and weighty, and deserve to prevail, may also at last be brought against a standing government. The standing army is only an arm of the standing government. The government itself, which is only the mode which the people have chosen to execute their will, is equally liable to be abused and perverted before the people can act through it. Witness the present Mexican War. The work of comparatively a few individuals using the standing government as their tool. For in the outset, the people would have not consented to this measure. This American government, what is it but a tradition, though a recent one, endeavoring to transmit itself unimpaired to posterity, but each instant losing some of its integrity. It has not the vitality and force of a single living man, for a single man can bend it to his will. It is a sort of wooden gun to the people themselves, but it is not the less necessary for this. For the people must have some complicated machinery or other, and to hear its din, to satisfy the idea of government which they have. Governments show thus how successfully men can be imposed on, even impose on themselves for their own advantage. It is excellent, we must allow. Yet this government never of itself furthered any enterprise, but by the alacrity with which it got out of its way. It does not keep the country free. It does not settle the West. It does not educate. The character inherent in the American people has done all that has been accomplished. And it would have done somewhat more if the government had not sometimes got in its way. For the government is an expedient by which men would fain succeed in letting one another alone. And, as has been said, when it is most expedient, the governed are most let alone by it. When it is most expedient. Trade and commerce, if they were not made of India rubber, would never manage to bounce over the obstacles which legislators are continually putting in their way. And if one were to judge these men wholly by the effects of their actions and not partly by their intentions, they would deserve to be classed and punished with those mischievous persons who put obstructions on railroads. But to speak practically and as a citizen, unlike themselves who call themselves no government men, I ask for, not at once no government, but at once a better government. Let every man make known what kind of government would command his respect, and that would be one step toward attaining it. After all, the practical reason why, when the power is once in the hands of the people, a majority are permitted, and for a long time continue, to rule, is not because they are most likely to be in the right, nor because this seems the fairest to the minority, but because they are physically the strongest. But a government in which the strongest majority rules in all cases cannot be based on justice, even as far as men understand it. Can there not be a government in which majorities do not virtually decide what right and wrong, but conscience? In which the majority decides only those questions to which the rule of expediency is applicable? Must the citizen ever for a moment or in the least degree resign his conscience to the legislator? Why has every man a conscience in the first place, then? I think that we should be men first and subjects afterward. And women. I love reading old literature and just being like, and women too. Am I not a man? because I have supple, luxurious breasts. Women, those bane of humanity. He said that tongue-in-cheek, by the way. But otherwise, yes. That's literally how they refer to us. Literally a second-class citizen, not a minority. Do you get it? Like, do you get it? Do you fucking get it, bro? I'm a human being. And it's crazy seeing all kinds of human beings being dehumanized more and more every day. Stop listening to the detractors, by the way. I was seeing so many people about the recent shootings saying fair grievances. Especially with Good. I only remember their last name. Good. The lady. People were like, well, a white woman's been killed. Time to freak out. And I'm like, yes, actually though. But then I would see weird, like, I don't know if I want to call them psyops or whatever. They're like, oh, you only care when it's a white woman. It's like, no. Now they finally have nothing to hide behind, bro. Like, now they finally are killing, like, the God-fearing white American man who was killed 2 days ago. White, straight, fucking veteran supporting man was killed. Do you think I think Renee Good's murder was any less? Like they don't take you seriously if you're a minority. And I empathize with that. They do not care. They killed 100 brown people before one white person got murdered. But that's why people are rallying behind the white person, not out of racism, because we are fighting racists. And finally, they have something that even they supposedly don't believe in. So fuck them. Fuck everybody. Love your neighbor. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Don't listen to people. If somebody out there's genuinely concerned about racism, like, you know, give them your love. But, like, there is something insidious going on. If somebody is saying to ignore a murder because other murders happen all the time too. The reason people are rallying behind the white people is because there's other racist people who will not listen if it's a brown person. Straight up, they just don't care. If you're black, if you're brown, if you're an illegal immigrant, even if you're white, which has happened, even if you're any, there's a fucking hierarchy, and we all know this. Hate the game, not the player, man. They do not care. They do not care if you're an immigrant, first of all. And then there's white immigrants. There's black and brown. They do not care, do not care, do not care. Brown citizen, they don't care either. Now they're just killing white American citizens who are, like, cisgender. Well, I mean, she was a lesbian, so never mind. She was a lesbian, so never mind. But they just killed a white cis man. And that's the one thing where we're like, aha! You know, like, you don't believe in anything, actually. You don't believe in anything. It's not where we draw the line. It's where you said the line was. It's where they said the line was. And they've shown that they don't care. That's what's exciting about it. People die every fucking day. I don't like some of you, dude. That's where they said the line was. That's why it's a rallying point.